Great quality 5-inch on-camera monitor by Shimbol company in a great case. Let's review that. So guys, what do we have in this beautifully made box with a little loop right here? So here we have the foam cutout, the monitor itself, the holder for the monitor or the monitor mount. It's a pretty simple mount as you can tell, so nothing too crazy. We have a little connector right here so it doesn't swivel around, and this knob adjusts the vertical position, so you cannot adjust the horizontal position or the pan of this monitor, only the tilt, but it's a pretty nice metal monitor mount. So right here we have a zipper pouch, and in this pouch you'll find the cleaning cloth from Shimbol. It's a pretty high quality cleaning cloth, by the way, and two most popular HDMI cables right here. So the big HDMI to big HDMI, so standard HDMI to HDMI connector right here, and also the micro HDMI to full-size HDMI. It's suitable for something like Sony ZV-E1, which is filming the top-down portion of this video. So great that we have those high-quality HDMI cables in the kit, as well as the instruction manual, and this foam cutout, which you can remove from here and use it together with the mount itself straight right here. So let's have a look at the monitor itself. It's made out of aviational aluminum or aluminium, depending on where you watch this video. And overall, it feels really sturdy and secure. So here we have the MPF battery slot, and this monitor does work a ton of time with the MPF batteries, especially with such big one for 8,800, if I'm not mistaken, milliamp hours. So if you plug this MPF battery, this will work for more than 6 hours. On the bottom, we have the 1/4-inch thread for mounting, so it doesn't swivel. We have the locating pins as well, and the USB-C port, which is covered with a seal. It only uses to solve some malware or something, so it's not used for charging or anything else. So on this side we have the DC in as well as the HDMI in and HDMI out. Is great because you can pass through the video signal to your video sender system or something else like a different monitor. And on the other side we have the SD card slot for uploading your LUTs, also a 1/4-inch thread, which is really nice because I don't have a 1/4-inch thread on my monitor of the Shimbol Z0600M, which is right here. It's a great monitor, but I really miss the 1/4-inch thread because I usually mount my microphones, receivers to something like a 1/4-inch thread. And also right here, guys, we have the headphone jack, so you can monitor audio with this monitor. And on the top portion, we have the power button, the function 1, 2, and 3 buttons, which are customizable. So it's really nice to have a function right at your fingertips. And I forgot to mention that in the kit, you also get the protective cover or the protective screen, let me say, for this monitor. And I have applied it already, but right here I have this annoying bubble of air. So you'd better be careful while applying this. Maybe I can remove it one day. So all in all, guys, great build quality and a pretty nice kit for $169. Why would you ask for more? And right now, guys, let's have a look at the settings of this monitor. It's pretty straightforward. So here you have your menu settings. If you want to zoom in, you can tap the function 2 button, which I have assigned already to the zoom function. You see this little magnifying tool, and you can use your pinch to zoom functionality. If I disable it, you are not able to do so. So action button 1 or function button 1 is for the histogram or the Luma waveform to be correct, and also the function button 3 is for false color tool, so I can at a glance judge my exposure, guys. So let's turn it off. Here we have different waveforms. So here is the main waveform, and we can change the opacity of it. Here is the RGB parade, which is great for setting the white balance, the histogram, which opens right here next to the waveform, and also the vectorscope. Unfortunately, you cannot move those items anywhere, so they're stuck to the right part of the image. So let's turn those off. So here we go with another tab. Here we have the safe area settings with different settings right here. Also the grid, lower thirds, the rule of thirds. Also, you can make it like 3 or 4 lines. It's great for filming architecture and all that stuff, so you can see that all the lines are pretty much straight. Let's turn this off. Anamorphic mode, so we can toggle it on and off, and we have all the most famous squeeze factors right here. Let's turn it off. We hit next. Here we have the marker display. It's also customizable. Here we have the center marker with different color presets. and different width. So let's move on. So the peaking functionality. So let's turn the peaking on. And here you can see that I am in focus. So we have the peaking right here. By the way, let's turn off the setter marker. So right here, because it also is being applied with the peaking, which is not really great. So let's turn off the peaking. And the next step is the zebra setting. So if we turn it on and adjust it a little bit, you can see that now I have different zebra levels right here, and it's totally customizable, which is nice. Let's turn it off. So the false color tool, I showed it before, and the monochrome color, let's turn it off. It's great for setting your chroma key, the green screen. It's a nice feature to have as well. So let's move on. Here we have the 3D LUTs, so you can actually upload your own LUT to this via SD card, which is great. And also you can turn it on and off, but I don't use the LUT in here. I use the LUT in camera in the Sony FX30 itself. Here you can change the gamma. So if you turn it on, you can see that we are changing the gamma a little bit, but I just set it like for the default gamma, so I'm not using any others. So the HDR, so you can set it to PQ or to HLG, but it's better working when you are working without a LUT. And the color temperature preset, which is set to user, because I did customize the colors of this monitor myself. So here we go with the settings. So the display settings, you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, the saturation and the sharpness, and the RGB adjustment. So here are the values that I dialed in. You need to dial in your own with your own sample unit of the monitor, because it varies from time to time. But all in all, guys, it does have great customizability, so it's not an issue to dial in the exact color. So let's move on to the settings. So here we have the backlight or actual brightness of the monitor. Also here we have the volume in your headphones. You can format the SD card, and also here you can set the function buttons 1, 2, and 3. And in the system, you can change the language to Chinese, and also you can update your firmware or check the version. So this is basically it. You can also rotate the display vertically, and also you can lock it so it doesn't react to your touches, or you can unlock it. So here we have the volume levels, the battery status in volts, and also the input in 1080p 50p as for now, but you can feed here the 4K up to 30p or 1080p up to 120 frames per second easily. So just set it in your camera to be the full HD HDMI output of the camera, and you'll be good to go, because this display is still a 1080p display and you don't need to feed a 4K signal into here. And right now, guys, here I have two Shimbol monitors, the M5 on the top and the ZO600M on the bottom. So the ZO600M also combines a wireless transmitter and receiver, and that is why it costs a lot more. But the M5 is a budget option, and as you can tell, guys, we have it here set up to 100% brightness right here, and the brightness is more or less comparable as well. And in terms of image quality, both of Shimbol monitors are really close to Atomos Ninja 5, which is actually a pretty good and expensive monitor and recorder, which I had, which was stolen from me in Italy, unfortunately. But those Shimbol monitors do come really, really close, which is great, especially for the price of the Shimbol M5 monitor. So in terms of the settings and overall features, they're really similar. You can see that the settings and the displays and different markers and all that stuff is really close, as you can tell. So to conclude, guys, this is a pretty simple monitor, but it checks all the boxes for me. It has HDMI pass-through, it has pretty nice image quality, a lot of customization features, so you can set the exact color you want. Also, it does have a 1/4" thread, which is important for me. It does have LUTs, all the features like functionality in terms of waveforms, histograms, and all that, the same as in the Shimbol Brother right here, which I've been using for the last 8 months as my main monitor and had zero issues with it whatsoever. And also, guys, I would like to mention that for this price of 160 bucks, you do get pretty nice case, the monitor mount, the cables, and it's hard to compete with this monitor in terms of value. The closest competitor of the highest league, let me say, from Atomos, this is Atomos Shinobi, and it's $300. Almost twice as expensive as this Shimbol monitor. Or if we pick the Atomos Ninja 5, the recorder and the field monitor, it's like going to like outer space. So we do have different freewells and also port keys monitors. But I always find myself not really enjoying the image quality of those monitors, and the functionality and the menu layout and the user interface is not always great. But with Shimbol I didn't have a single issue, so I would highly recommend you checking out this monitor. Especially guys, if you haven't used the film monitor once, this is like night and day, because I can see my composition, my exposure, I can see my framing and much better, a lot better than with the small screen of this camera or on that camera. It's too small and not too sharp. But with the Full HD monitor, you do get this benefit. So please let me know guys in the comment section below which monitor do you use, or even if you use a monitor, and which one do you use. Right there in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notifications bell. See you in the next video guys, take care, bye.